Noted. Are you ready, Eslix?
Yes.
What do we have first? So, I'm gonna mute this one right here and then play it. So, what were your impressions first of all? What did you think of the live translation, the information that they've provided? What caught your attention here?
Well, your translation was good. I don't know
Really?
about theirs. Yeah. I thought they didn't share that much though, except for the Unity dates.
So the first thing was... So first things first. They've started by... Yeah, so they reiterated the roadmap. This is the roadmap that we had before, right?
Yes.
So, what was mentioned in there?
Expeditions.
So we've got the expeditions, we've got new PVM content, we've got the Feka and...
Zootopia or Temporis?
The Temporis as well.
Yeah. But the thing is, they didn't share too much more. Like, they didn't share that much. They only said when it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I think that is sharing in itself. I think that I've looked up what the Krosmonote is. I had to look it up to see what it is all about. So you've got the Ankama Lives, and you've got the Krosmonote. So the Krosmonote is an event. As the name indicates, the note is literally where all teams get together. If you're working on the series, if you're working on a game, everybody gets together and just gives you the big lines, so the headlines. This is what we have planned. One new server, we're testing this, we think of rolling this on this date. So they don't get into depth. They just give you the headline, what you need to know, and what to get hyped about, and then they move on. Because if you think about it, it was a 2-hour event talking about 8 different facets of the company. So Dofus got 15 minutes, Unity got 15 minutes, literally. So they only give you the big headlines. But for Dofus 2.0, the first announcement was the Shadow server event. What did you gather from this? What came to mind when you saw this?
It sounded a little bit like an Iron Man.
Really? Everybody starting from scratch?
Starting from scratch and I think it was permadeath.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was only, 4 weeks?
It is going to be a short event, but everybody's gonna get the experience of starting from scratch. And was it during this event when they said they will introduce the guild competitions and points?
Yeah.
Right, so let me explain this with a bit more details for people who weren't here, like Furex. So there will be guild events. This entire temporary server is based around guild collaboration. So everybody will have to quickly group up, and there will be a list of new achievements in the tab that people will be able to see. And only the first one to get the achievements gets the point. And then you push your guild higher up in the rank. There will be a new channel for achievements and deaths. So if anyone unlocks it, like Eslix has done Royal Gobble first, for example, there will be a channel where everybody will get to see it, and he will get the point. So the person who does it next after him will get less points, and only the top 5 guilds at the end will get some sort of rewards. And this will last only for 4 weeks if my memory serves me right. Does that sound right with you, Eslix?
Yeah, so I think the people who have like bigger groups of friends or like people who can play at the exact same time, they pretty much have an advantage over everyone else.
Yeah. So they've designed it so that it is a collaboration effort. You won't be going into this to test stuff on your own, to try stuff on your own. It will be primarily a team effort. So in the achievement tab, they said they will introduce dungeon achievements, something over the weekend, dungeon rushers. They will introduce profession achievements, and everybody will have to start from scratch. That means you need to craft items. That means someone must do professions. Someone must get points for the guild in terms of dungeons. So if you've got someone that is really good at dungeon achievements, you sort of go and do something else to support them with that. So Eslix is really good with achievements. I'm good with professions. I'll go and level them up, gather the resources, and then pass them on to Sevi, who's really good with crafting and maging, and he will get the achievements for us for that. And then we give the items to Eslix so that he can get us the achievements for the dungeon. So it will be a collaboration, a team effort that will only last from March to the end of April. So it will be quick, intense, and they haven't mentioned anything about the rewards, Katushka.
Yeah, so I feel like the rewards need to be really, really, really good for even people to bother doing this.
Yeah.
And I feel like
sure.
as well, because like people who have a normal life and a job, they are already at a disadvantage because they don't play 8 hours a day to like get a head start. I know some French people, they are probably gonna be level 100 the first day.
Yeah, not
and
like
have completed like full achievements of all the level 1 to 100 dungeons, right?
Yeah.
And then
to be fair, they did say it was going to be a try-hard event. They've designed it to be a sort of jam-packed, high-intensity event.
Didn't you say you had a week of holiday in April?
Yes, I do. Mid-April. But it's so, the event will be... Well, I think... Yeah, it will still be going. So maybe we can do something towards...
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe if I... It depends on when it's in April, because I might have some free weeks then as well.
Yeah. But I had planned for that weekend to create a lot of content and also do my dream challenge where I'll start the stream and I will only stop it once I reach floor 400. No sleep. Food will have to be coming to me, so like it will be intense.
Does your wife agree though?
Yes, it's already in her calendar and diary. She's ready for it.
Alright. Furex did it in like 20 hours, he said. The past 3 days.
Wow, that is
spread
grand.
over 3 days.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so,
I don't know if this event plays out on a couple of weeks where I have a lot of time. I might participate because, yeah, why not? But the rewards need to be good. There need to be good rewards for even for the people who don't reach top 5. You know what I mean?
I see what you mean. Yeah. So spectacular rewards for the top 5. And something good enough for everyone else to still participate and yeah, I gotcha. Gotcha. Did we miss anything, chat, about the Shadow server event? Aha! Unless somebody mentions something we forgot in the chat, we are going to the next one, the next event that they've mentioned, which was the Temporis, which is the second event that will happen sometime between March and June. So for this Temporis, what we can expect is a rework of all Dofus. So up until 129, all the dungeons that were there will be reworked to level 200 standards. So just imagine struggling with soft oak when it's level 140. Now it's going to be on steroids at level 200. And there was a question that was asked live during the event where they've asked them, will they just conserve their normal spells or will there be any new additions? And they said they will have new effects, new spells, new additions to the bosses to distinguish them from the actual normal dungeons. What else have we got? Did you retain anything from this Temporis, Eslix?
It looks interesting.
The graphics, at least, it's a nostalgia hit, isn't it?
I was gonna say it's basically like Dreams, but then you mentioned that they're gonna change some spells, so it's gonna be different, yeah.
I think you're right. That was my first instinct as well, but it's Dreams Plus. What do I mean by that? In essence, when you face Soft Oak in Dreams, it is sort of bumped up to be like its stats are increased, its HP is increased, and you sort of get the feeling of fighting a boss at your own level. Yes, but there's also, so in that regard, it is Dreams. And the little plus I've added is to do with the new spells that we know nothing about. The new mechanics, the new effects that we will have to find out, and maybe they make it harder, maybe not, maybe, I don't know, we will see. They didn't give us any more details until the next Ankama Live, where they will discuss this at length. Did you retain any more things from that segment, Eslix?
Nope, I think that was it. Yeah.
Anything from that segment, chat, about the the upcoming Season 2 Temporis? It's called Origins, by the way, because we're going back.
Wait,
to
you
the
said
Origins.
Temporis, but isn't it says Expeditions though?
Oh, it's the Expeditions. Sorry, it's not
Yeah.
Temporis. It's
This
the
is the so it's the
second-
Expeditions, not the Temporis though.
You're absolutely right. It's the second edition of the Expeditions that we've had last year's. They said last year we had idols, but because they were removed from the game completely, they've had to innovate and work something new that is different, that doesn't rely on idols to create difficulty. So they are literally developing new spells and effects and stuff like that for this new edition. Yeah, thank you very much for reminding me. I feel a bit tired after that effort.
And I think the previous expeditions, it was mostly level 200 dungeon as well. So making lower level dungeons level 200 does make sense because you can play more content, like lower level content as 200. So I think that would be interesting.
Amazing, amazing. The next thing on their agenda, the next item they've discussed was 20 years of Dofus. So we are celebrating 2 decades, as you can all see on the logo up top, up right. They are celebrating 2 decades of Dofus being alive, keeping up, being healthy, having populations, being played for all this time. And they've reminded us that the 15-year celebration happened in their Ankama local, so the main office. For those of you who watched the stream with Artagoon where we've opened Kralov, they have given people a Haven bag that is designed, you can see in the back there, that is designed to look like their offices. And that was for their 15 years. For the 20 years, they have things planned, but they didn't tell us anything about it. But they planned for it to be spectacular. Did I miss anything? Did they mention something else about it? 20-year celebration?
I don't think so. They didn't share much about it.
It will be a summer event. And oh yes, oh of course we forgot something. They will have, so the events to celebrate the 20 year, they've decided to liven up an area that was a bit dead and stale according to them. So what they've decided to do is take the Troll Fair and completely redo it, so liven it up, make it more animated, more vibrant, brilliant, and add minigames in there that people can participate in and play. Yeah, and it will be towards the end of the summer, beginning of September, so this is not immediately.
They should give us like a 20-year anniversary ornament.
Mm-hmm. That would be nice, people who participate in it, so they get to retain something. The last one, they've given Haven bags and that brilliant, what is it called, an emote where you turn into a package. No, the Troll Fair. The Troll Fair is an area in Dofus 2.0, right next to the Troll, right next to the, what is it called again? The, Les Autruches, what is it called?
Yeah?
Stretch, something stretch.
Yeah.
Hey, these for you redeeming music while we're talking.
Crossbridge.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, Crossbridge. Yeah, Boostash Dungeon is inside the True Fair.
Yes, so where Boostash Dungeon is, he's literally inside of the Troll Fair. So that entire area will be reworked to be more lively and enjoyable. And there will be mini games, some PVM happening inside of the Troll Fair that people will be able to engage with to celebrate 20 years. We don't know anything about what the games will be, what the rewards will be, where exactly. We don't know anything aside from the big picture, what is happening. So the big lines are the Troll area, the Troll Fair area completely redone, liven up, and then mini games inside that we will be able to partake, all of us in. What else have we got? They were potentially thinking of some PVM content, but once again, they have loads of ideas. They don't want to tell us everything already, and they're keeping some suspense. They did show us this thing about tournaments. They've mentioned tournaments next after this. What did you retain from the tournaments bit? We've watched this video right here about KTA. What comes to mind, Eslix?
I actually had a question. Maybe you've picked that up, but they mentioned that the actual finale is on the 23rd of March.
Yeah.
But how about the like what comes before that? Like how do you participate? The games? What's gonna happen? Like how do you get to the finale?
There is a KTA tournament underway now. I think people have started subscribing to take part in it. People are starting to train to get ready for the fights. And it will be a mega event. This is the biggest. They've actually pushed the bar. I think this is the first time I've seen Ankama do something that looks like they want to enter the esports arena, but they mean it this time. So they have taken a complete arena in France, in central Paris, that will be a LAN kind of party. So the finale will be on the 23rd of March. They have an entire arena, and the winners will have some interesting wins. So there will be statues that will be erected inside the game to reward people who have won permanently in the game. Statues. There will be a cash prize of 10,000 for the winning team. And they will distribute the champion cosmetic set, which is dedicated to only people who participate in the Dofus World Cup and get far ahead. There will be an Ankama Live to discuss this in further detail. But yeah, how do you feel about the arena level 256 being actually rented for an event? Imagine this, an arena full of people.
I've never been there, so I don't know how big it is, but it's pretty nice that Dofus that actually like does something like this. But I just feel like 99% of the people who are going there will be French.
But I don't know what size of it is or what it looks like. Maybe I'll try and see some images online.
For this event,
yeah,
pretty cool.
Amazing.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so they're serious about pushing this. I mean, that's the kind of events that will bring advertisement, that will bring people into the game, that will interest someone to join and play, maybe to compete in PvP, but one extra player. The other thing is they've done something they've never done before. And I think you're going to enjoy this Furex if you've participated in the previous one. They are introducing 2 extra tournaments this year. One for PVM for the first time ever, a KTA PVM event, and another PvP one. And we've got the dates, July for the PVM and October for the PvP one. We can see Mrs. Freeze and Mercator in the image there. God knows what. I think people who have done Dreams have a distinct advantage in those sorts of unconventional events, right, Eslix?
Yeah, but they didn't mention anything about the PVM, what's going to be, right? They just mentioned that there's going to be one.
The headlines only.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like the KTA recently did. They did a PVM tournament where I think Pinky as well joined.
Yeah.
But it was like created and hosted by KTA.
Ah, I get ya. This is partnership.
They put together like bosses that normally don't go together, and it was even more extreme than Dreams, I think.
Yeah, it was a bit more extreme because you had high stakes as well. You needed to do 5 levels in the least amount of turns and time. Yeah. So it
was like four bosses combined in one.
Yeah, it was insane. It was mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something like this.
I'm sure somebody's already thinking it. If Eslix is talking about a PVM event by KTA, how is this the first one? This is the first one where Dofus actually participates. They will collaborate with KTA to make it, instead of just give them the right to use the mobs and give them maybe the code so that you see the mobs run like they do in the normal game. So it will be an actual partnership. So here we have moved on to Unity. After the PVM and PvP events, they've actually moved on to Unity, and they've given us a glimpse. They've played a video of the smoothness of the actual new scenery. So you can see it's more seamless, it's more animated. Some people have said in the chat that it will be more taxing, the lag is gonna be horrendous, and my immediate instinct is there's a lot of people who will need to upgrade their gear, otherwise it's gonna be really tough to play and enjoy the full potential of this. The sounds. The other thing that really blew my mind was the sound. We didn't hear the sound. You got it pretty low during the video, I think. Well, once they release it or when we make a video about it, we will include the sounds, and they're so vibrant. Like for example, when they were here in the Zelor, do you see those little flashes of lag in the screen? They actually had a little sound and like zzz, and everything was vibrant. The clock moving, everything that you can see animated has something to offer in terms of sound. And for people like myself who don't play with sound at all, I think that's an incentive to discover that new area.
I always have sound off. You want to know like a quick story why a lot of people have sound off?
Go on.
I don't know, maybe it's the same for you. This sound bug has been in the game for over 10 years. Especially when you play multi-account, you know that usually you only have the sound on your main, and you turn it all off on the other character because otherwise it plays on all. The thing is, then sometimes sound just completely shuts off, and the only way to get it back is completely log out all characters and start up the game again. So that's why people just turn it off.
I get you.
I've never turned sound on, honestly.
And the other thing I wanted to mention here, and the reason why I pose in this frame, this is Zelorium. We're not talking about PvP. This is normal PvM. And you can see that they've ported. This is something that Mr. Black, Eslix, and Washington during one of our conversations got really excited about, which was you don't need to go what is it called? Tactical mode anymore.
Tactical mode.
Once you start a fight, you can still enjoy the scenery, but you can see where the obstacles, where the holes are, without having to completely turn your game grey. So you can enjoy the full beauty of the map, still get some immersion, some sounds. It's like a semi-tactical mode, exactly, Katushka. That's right. Yeah. And it looks good. It's well designed.
You just gotta think it like this. If someone in your real life is gonna ask you what game you're playing, you're gonna tell them I'm playing Dofus, and they're gonna ask you to show it to them, and then you're gonna show them gray maps with all squares. Like they're gonna think like you're some stupid person who plays kids games or whatever. But like if it looked like this, then it at least looks appealing.
On to the next thing. Then they've started talking about Dofus Unity. The actual fight side, the animations, they've completely reworked them. They've hired a new team and they've started them from scratch. And much to Gluto's pleasure, they've started with the Zeller, who has a lot of animations that are quite cool. So we got to witness how the characters cast their spells, what the spell animation look like, and you can already tell it's a lot more vibrant. It's a lot more interactive. You don't just get hit and have that one animation where they sort of duck a bit. They interact with every different spell sort of differently.
You know what we mentioned during I think it was during our podcast. What I hope is, because with the current spell animations, every animation has a fixed amount of time it takes, right? So if you cast spells really quickly, you need to wait for all the animation to be done before you can, for example, spend your movement points or skip your turn. They need to make it so that if you play faster, the animations play faster as well. Because we all know that if you play Xelor with the Telefrag, they get AP back. They can spend like 25 AP every single turn. Trust me, with these spell animations on, there's no way you have enough time to play that. So they need to make the animations play faster.
This is the exciting stuff. The roadmap, as we knew it, just mentioned Unity sometimes towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
However, today we have dates and we have more clarity. So, in general, Unity, what you need to know. The first time anybody will get to experience it, see it, touch it, will be in the Japan Expo in July this year. They will have a couple of machines with the client on it that people will get to try. They will be heavily guarded in it, so nobody gets to snap photos, steal it or anything. And it will be in the stand. So if you go to Japan during July, visit the expo, you will see Logan and somebody else there that will give you the chance to see what Unity looks like in the Dofus stand. The next time anybody will be able to actually test it themselves from the comfort of their home with their green screen couch will be in August. So in August they will release a beta version for everyone to try. No exceptions, no restrictions, and they will port all the traditional servers that exist already onto it so that you can just log in like a normal beta server, find your character with gear and everything, and then voila, the world is your oyster. You can go around, try it. But, and there's a big but. Nobody turned that into a joke. There's a big but there, which is the last sentence that you can read in the middle under August, the beta, is long phase of testing. And they insisted on it being a long phase-in test, which means don't open it in August and then think this is rubbish, there's a lot of bugs. It is expected. And what they are designing this opening for, it is designed for people to interact with it, for people to try it, find bugs, report them, and they get better with time. So they've given themselves from August all the way to December to find every problem possible and imaginable, fix them during that period, and in December we have an official release date. It will be released in December. And once the move from Flash to Unity has happened, that's it. It's definitive, it's final. And then they will announce new PVM content. They will completely remove the Flash client. And there will be new servers, multi-account and mono server accounts. And everything will be announced during that period of time. So before, we will discuss it with more detail. I think it was the 3rd of March. There is an Uncam Live on the 7th of March. I did remember that.
Yeah, 7th of March, which is on a Thursday.
It's the 7th of March where they will hold an Uncam Live where they want people to come and ask them questions. They will release a bit more details. What's good about Uncam Live as opposed to Krosmonote is their mono topic. So once you tune in, you're not talking about retro, you're not talking about Cross Maga or One More Gate. It's purely Dofus Unity. One topic for the entire live, and it's on the 7th of March. If you've got any questions, if you're thinking of anything, any improvements, whatever, go there, interact, and get more news. And I think we will cover it again. This has been an enjoyable experience as far as I'm concerned.